So after 2 months of the Trudeau Liberal government's lies and deception, Conservatives have forced a temporary pause of Trudeau's hunting rifle ban. This comes after we have seen the most underhanded amendment in the largest hunting rifle ban in Canadian history, attempted in the most underhanded way at Public Safety Committee. And from the hard work from Conservatives across the country, we have achieved, again, a temporary pause on the hunting rifle ban. Although we fully believe that Trudeau will ultimately continue to attempt to ban hunting rifles in Canada. This is a temporary pause, and hunters should be made aware that the Trudeau Liberals will continue to come after their hunting rifles. This is not the end, but Conservatives will continue to fight extremely hard to protect Canada's deep cultural and heritage history when it comes to hunting rifles in this country.
My Conservative team and I have forced Justin Trudeau into a temporary but humiliating climb down today. Trudeau desperately wanted to ban hunting rifles. Not only did he send a Liberal MP in to throw a sucker punch at our lawful and licensed firearms owners by banning their hunting rifles, he was asked specifically if that was his goal, and he said yes. It wasn't just incompetence, as we would normally expect from him. It was his own words, and I'm going to quote them here. This was from December. There are, in his words, there are some guns, yes, that we're going to have to take away from people who are using them to hunt. That's his agenda. That's why today's humiliating climb down that we have forced Trudeau to make is a temporary pause in his plan to ban hunting rifles. He is doing this because he got caught, and because Canadians of all walks of life from across the country, law-abiding, decent, Indigenous Canadians, farmers, rural Canadians who follow the law, stood up with Conservatives and forced him to temporarily pause this plan. But we will not let up. Conservatives will never allow Justin Trudeau to ban hunting rifles, and we will remind Canadians that if he ever gets the chance, and if God forbid he ever got a majority, Trudeau would ban hunting rifles and he would ban all civilian firearms ownership in Canada. That's his agenda. He's made it clear, and we won't let him do it. He said it right here. There are some guns, yes, that we're going to have to take away from people who are using them to hunt.
Do you feel he's going to reintroduce this?
Oh yes, he'll reintroduce this either in this Parliament, or he'll dream that, God forbid, if he ever got a majority, he would ram it through. That's why the only way law-abiding hunters and farmers will be able to protect their way of life is to elect a Conservative majority government led by Pierre Poilievre. Good faith. Good faith. You are definitely with the CBC. You think that anything about this process has been good faith. No, obviously you're from the CBC. You're trying to help him out of a bad situation. But the reality is this. He introduced, it's CBC is trying to carry Trudeau's water again. I'll give an answer to the question. He introduced this amendment with hundreds and hundreds of firearms owned by law-abiding, lawful, licensed people. He then attacked anyone who disagreed. He tried to use fear and divide and conquer, as he always does, and he reiterated his plan in December to ban hunting rifles. The only reason Trudeau has put his tail between his legs and paused this plan is because my team forced him to do it. But if he ever got the chance, make no mistake, he will ban hunting rifles, and the only way to prevent that is with a Conservative majority government.
You have no hard evidence of this. You just said he wants to ban all civilian firearms.
Sir, what wouldn't you ban? If you're going to ban single-shot rifles that are exclusively used for hunting, then what would stop him from banning everything else? We also have the list. We also have the list of everything he tried to ban, and we have his words, where he says, I'm going to say it for a third time because you don't seem to want to cover it, we're going to have to take away from people firearms they're using to hunt. He said that on CTV 2 months ago. That's his agenda. It hasn't changed. He's had a humiliating climb down today because he got caught. But the only way to protect the rights of our law-abiding hunters and farmers is with a Conservative majority government.
Parliamentary process, the way that the amendments were introduced and now withdrawn.
It was bad faith. He came in with a sucker punch, dropped this amendment out of nowhere. It's doubtful whether the amendment was even procedurally allowable, but he tried to ram it through with as little debate as humanly possible. And then he backed it up by saying that he wanted to take away hunting rifles from people. It shows his real agenda. Good thing that we had the incredible Raquel Dancho and other Conservative MPs. We were the only party that stood consistently against this from the beginning.